Hey, what's up guys, Bo HD here, and sadly, Samsung is not giving us a Galaxy Note smartphone this year. Instead, they're giving us the Galaxy Z Flip 3 and Galaxy Z Fold 3 in place of the Note, or at least they're announcing it at the same time that we typically see a new Note device. So let's go ahead and talk about what we can expect to see in these new foldable smartphones. Now, just to give you a little recap, the Galaxy Z Flip is Samsung's foldable smartphone that folds over the X-axis, like a traditional flip phone. Kind of think Motorola Razr from back in the day. Meanwhile, the Galaxy Z Fold, it folds over the Y-axis and turns into a tablet. So it takes the traditional smartphone design we all know and love and allows you to fold it open and essentially use it as a tablet. According to Max Weinbach and Evan Bloss, I always forget if I'm saying their names right, I apologize, but both of these successors are rumored to support IPX8 water resistance, which would put them on par with Samsung's other flagship non-foldable smartphones, which is great and definitely an impressive engineering feat considering all the hinges and small gaps required to make these foldable displays work. It's pretty neat that apparently Samsung has found a way to prevent water from getting into the phone's internals. But what they did not discover was a way to prevent dust from getting inside, because SlashGear notes that this IPX8 water resistance rating, well, there's a reason it's called, it's a water resistance rating and not a water and dust resistance rating, because it doesn't apply to dust. So you'll still have to be pretty careful. But let's focus on the Galaxy Z Fold 3 for a moment. That's the phone that folds open like this. So this phone is going to have a largely similar design, but we should expect to see flat aluminum sides, no longer rounded sides, and it should be protected with Gorilla Glass Victus. In some of the leaked images, we can see a phone in black, navy, and pink shades with a triple lens camera system on the back, a punch hole camera on the cover screen, and what's expected to be an under-display camera on the front. This would be the first Samsung smartphone with an under-display camera, so that would be pretty cool. But the main cameras, they should be fairly similar in performance to last year's Fold 2. The phone will reportedly have a massive 7.5-inch AMOLED display with a buttery smooth 120 Hz refresh rate, a 6.2-inch cover display, that is a display on the outside, and in terms of like dimensions, it's supposed to be 6.6 millimeters thick or thin when folded open, and then when folded closed, it'll be definitely a little bit chunkier at 14.5 millimeters thick. So chunky when it's closed, but when it's open, it's gonna be definitely on the thin side. Now this phone will support 5G, so that's awesome, but there is talk of having two different models or variants of the Fold 3, one of which will, or at least is rumored to have a smaller cover display to possibly accommodate an S Pen slot. I've also read reports that suggest Samsung will sell a separate case that will feature an S Pen slot where the hinge is, and I think that is gonna be a lot more likely. So my guess is we'll probably just see one variant, but we'll probably see the variant that I just mentioned, the one that features an S Pen, but the holder will be in the case that is sold alongside the device. But kind of going back to the durability and the Gorilla Glass, the Z Fold 3 along with the Z Flip 3 is expected to have the strongest foldable screen of any phone. The ultra thin glass that Samsung markets will be twice as thick than on the previous Z Fold 2. And the battery for the Z Fold 3 is sadly rumored to be slightly smaller than last year's model, coming in at 4,380 milliamp hours in capacity. We should see Android 11 running on the software side of things with Samsung's One UI 3.5 custom skin running on top. And there should be 256 gigabytes of internal storage built into the device. Oh, and powering the device will be the Snapdragon 888 chipset with 12 gigabytes of RAM. Asterisk, unless Samsung debuts this top secret chip that's been kind of codenamed and rumored in several reports. I'm guessing though that we're gonna see the Snapdragon 888 chip. That's just my bet. Other fun little features we could see included is an ECG and a blood pressure monitor, as well as an RGB light strip along the hinge. I doubt we'll see the last one, but it's possible. I've seen some mention of it. Now for the Z Flip 3, which might confuse you a little bit because we never had an official Z Flip 2, we had like a Z Flip 5G variant, which it seems like Samsung is going to consider that the second version or iteration, while the third iteration will be announced alongside the Z Fold 3. So just go to clear that up. It should have a really stylish two-tone design in an assortment of colors, along with a much larger secondary display on the outside of the phone, measuring in at 3 inches. The inside of the display, when folded open, should measure in at 6.7 inches. So basically, it's going to be the same display size as the previous iteration. But the secondary display, that's where things get good. That's going to be roughly 2 inches larger. So that's just going to be great to see. You're going to be able to take selfies and see notifications and maybe even respond to them much better than before, because you're going to have a considerably larger display on the front or the outside of the phone. Now, the Z Flip 3 is expected to have a larger battery, but I don't know the exact milliamp hour capacity. And everything else will be very similar to the Galaxy Fold 3 in terms of specs. It should be much more durable than before. Very good to see. It'll have a similar camera setup. That is a triple 12 megapixel rear camera system array of lenses. And it should be powered by the Snapdragon 888 chipset with maybe slightly less RAM, 8 gigabytes or 12 gigabytes of RAM, depending on the configuration you pick. And along with that, it'll have either 128 or 256 gigabytes of internal storage. And as for the price, it'll be considerably cheaper than the Fold 3, coming in at around $1,380, give or take. Still not cheap by any means, any stretch of the imagination, but considerably cheaper than the roughly $2,000 price tag of the Fold 3. I mean, I have read some reports that suggest the Fold 3 will be priced as low as around $1,600, but my guess is it's probably going to be closer to the price found in the previous Folds, and that was around $2,000. We should have all the information confirmed, and we should have this phone announced on August 11th at Samsung's scheduled event. So mark your calendar. If you guys have any questions, concerns, just want to leave a comment down below, please do so. Hit the like button, subscribe if you're brand new. As always, I'm BoHD from Slash.TV. Thanks for watching. I'll see you right back here in the next one. See ya.